The dawn of dinosaurs, a journey 250 million years back. If you had the ability to travel back in time 250 million years, you would witness the dawn of dinosaurs. According to leading scientific theories, the origin of these magnificent creatures began with a group known as archosaurs. These were the dominant reptiles that appeared during the late Permian period. Although they were merely ancestors, archosaurs possessed a distinctive appearance that often leads people to mistake them for true dinosaurs. Over the passage of time, the archosaur lineage underwent a pivotal evolutionary split into two distinct groups. One group evolved into modern-day crocodiles, while the other became the direct ancestors of dinosaurs, paving the way for an explosion of biodiversity and the emergence of thousands of different species. In these early stages, one of the most groundbreaking evolutionary leaps achieved by dinosaurs was the ability to move on two legs, bipedalism. Shifting to walking on their hind limbs completely freed their front limbs, allowing them to flexibly perform vital survival functions, such as grasping food or defending themselves against predators. This served as the foundational stepping stone, igniting the glorious evolutionary journey of dinosaurs in Earth's history. The Triassic period, first steps on a harsh land. Our journey through time brings us to the Triassic period, a volatile era for planet Earth. Here, the sight of early dinosaurs might surprise you, as they were a far cry from the massive monsters typically depicted in cinema. One of the most iconic representatives was the Eoraptor. Emerging from the archosaur lineage, this dinosaur was only about the size of a modern dog, standing roughly 1 meter tall and weighing a meager 10 kilograms. The existence of Eoraptor proves that greatness does not necessarily start with large proportions. It would take millions of years of subsequent evolution before the size of dinosaurs truly exploded. During this era, the face of the Earth was undergoing profound geological changes. The supercontinent Pangaea began to crack and drift apart, leading to dramatic shifts in global ecosystems and climates. The world at that time was generally hot and arid, with absolutely no ice at the poles. Vegetation also played a key role in the race for survival. Plants with different nutritional properties, some even toxic, directly shaped the dietary strategies and adaptability of each dinosaur species. Alongside Eoraptor, the Triassic saw a gradual rise in diversity with species such as Coelophysis, an agile predator weighing about 23 kilograms, specialized in hunting small prey. Herrerasaurus, weighing about 350 kilograms, showing the early trend toward increasing size. Plateosaurus, an early giant standing 3 meters tall and weighing up to 4,000 kilograms. Despite these significant strides, dinosaurs were not yet the absolute overlords. They had to share their habitats and compete fiercely with many other organisms. It was only after a mass extinction event at the end of the Triassic, caused by volcanic activity and climate change, that these competitors were eliminated, officially clearing the path for dinosaurs to ascend the throne and dominate Earth in the following eras. The Jurassic period, the Golden Age and the rise of rulers. Entering the Jurassic period, the world of dinosaurs was no longer a desperate struggle for survival. This was an era where they did not just exist, they truly thrived and reigned. Through millions of years of evolution, dinosaur species diversified powerfully, spreading across every continent to occupy everything from lush, dense jungles to scorched deserts. This was the era of the giants we are most familiar with. Names like Stegosaurus, with its iconic spiked back, or Brachiosaurus, with a neck long enough to reach the highest canopies, became symbols of the peerless scale of prehistoric life. Additionally, the emergence of Allosaurus, a fearsome predator, established a complete ecological order where dinosaurs sat at the very top of the food chain. However, the Jurassic was not inhabited solely by massive beasts. Another vital evolutionary branch appeared, the theropods, which were smaller in stature and possessed many bird-like characteristics. The clearest evidence of this is Archaeopteryx, a creature of monumental historical significance. Archaeopteryx possessed a strange blend of two worlds. It had feathers and wings like a modern bird, yet retained the sharp teeth and long, bony tail of its reptilian ancestors. This was the crucial missing link that directly connected dinosaurs to the birds we see today. The Jurassic period lasted approximately 56 million years before closing with a relatively minor extinction event. Fluctuations in climate, volcanic activity, and changing sea levels caused some species to vanish, but simultaneously altered the landscape, setting the stage for dinosaurs to enter their final and most brilliant chapter of their history, the Cretaceous. The Cretaceous period, the peak of dominance and the legend. As we move into the Cretaceous period, we reach the most radiant and final chapter in the magnificent history of dinosaurs. After millions of years of evolution, this was the time when the greatest star of all time appeared, Tyrannosaurus rex, T-Rex. Standing 3.7 meters tall, stretching 12 meters in length, and weighing a staggering 9 tons, T-Rex was a perfect hunting machine. Equipped with powerful hind legs reaching speeds of 40 kilometers per hour and a jaw lined with 30-centimeter-long razor-sharp teeth, it was not merely a scavenger, but an active hunter ready to take on formidable opponents like Triceratops or Edmontosaurus. Yet, the Cretaceous was not only about terrifying giants. A fascinating discovery from this era is the prevalence of feathered dinosaurs. Contrary to the bare-skinned images often seen in movies, scientific evidence shows that species like Velociraptor were actually covered in feathers for warmth and increased agility. Even more remarkable was Microraptor, which not only had feathers but used them for gliding, providing vital insights into the evolution from dinosaur to bird. Geologically, the supercontinent Pangaea had by now completely fragmented into the continent we recognize today. This separation forced dinosaur species to migrate and adapt to isolated environments, creating unprecedented biodiversity. However, just as these species reached the pinnacle of adaptation, a fateful shadow from the cosmos was approaching Earth, prepared to end the era of these rulers forever. Fateful collision, the end of an era. After millions of years reigning at the top of the food chain, the fate of the dinosaurs was permanently altered by a cataclysmic event from space. A massive asteroid slammed into the Earth, creating a terrifying impact crater 150 kilometers wide and 20 kilometers deep. The sheer destruction of the initial explosion was only the beginning of a chain of global disasters. The aftermath of the collision was even more horrific than the blast itself. A colossal amount of dust and debris was hurled into the atmosphere, forming a thick shroud that blocked out sunlight for an extended period. This caused global temperatures to plummet, plunging the Earth into a sudden deep freeze. The lack of light paralyzed photosynthesis, causing plant life to wither and leading to the collapse of the entire ecosystem. Consequently, 75% of life on the planet was wiped out, marking the extinction of almost every dinosaur species we have ever known. However, amidst this destruction, the seeds of new life endured. The avian dinosaurs, the group we explored earlier, managed to survive the catastrophe, eventually evolving into the birds of today. The departure of these giants unintentionally cleared the ecological floor, creating opportunities for small mammals, which had previously been overshadowed, to begin diversifying and expanding their influence. Over time, this transfer of power allowed humans to evolve and build the global civilization of today. The story of dinosaurs is not just about dominance, it's a lesson in change and the ceaseless continuity of life. Post-disaster legacy and the rise of a new world. The extinction of the majority of dinosaurs was not a final end to life, but a grand turning point that opened a new era. As the giant predators vanished, the crushing pressure of survival on mammals was finally lifted. Emerging from the shadows where they once hid from dinosaurs, mammals began to step into the light, diversifying and rapidly occupying vacant ecological niches. This power transition laid the groundwork for human evolution, enabling us to build the global civilization of today. Although their 165 million year reign has closed, the mysteries of dinosaurs continue to ignite human curiosity. Modern science continues to uncover astonishing facts. For instance, not all dinosaurs were cold-blooded. Some may have been warm-blooded or possessed a hybrid thermal regulation mechanism. The journey to understand them doesn't just help us understand the past, it's the key to understanding the remarkable mechanics and resilience of life on our planet.